Thanks for logging on to myfoxhurricane.com. Still watching Tropical Storm Oscar, but it's been question mark whether this is even still a tropical system. Hurricane Hunter planes, they were flying in this system this morning, and basically what they noted was it's kind of hard to find in the actual center of this storm. Now you can see why. Here's where they're saying the center is. Notice where all the convection is. Well to the east of this storm, the wind shear is really doing its thing on this system. What they basically have said is if they found the center, it's kind of an elongated center and it's really ill-defined. They're waiting for a little bit more information to come in. So later on today, it's quite likely that they say, you know what, this has gone ahead and dissipated or is now become a post-tropical system, because it is going to continue to be an area low pressure. It's just certainly not tropical in nature. And you can see that just by looking at this view here. But for now, we'll call it a tropical storm. Winds are at 40 miles an hour. It's currently moving to the northeast at 12 miles an hour. You see what that forecast track does. Basically, this area low pressure is a non-tropical low, continues to work its way on towards the north. Still some gusty winds, a lot of rain with it, but it takes on just a completely different type of a system. So it's a non-tropical, it's more of a cold core system, what we refer to it as. And so you see all the convections all well away from the center. In fact, it'll start to become more of a system where you see a lot of that convection on that northern side as we talk about these more wintertime and fall time systems where you get the cold fronts, you get what we call baroclinic forcing. So a lot of that technical jargon in there, but what it is, we're just kind of changing the forcing of this system, and that's why you see this working its way on towards the north and just having a much different appearance. And then we also have another cold front which will be pushing across the U.S. out into the Atlantic, and that will help to push this system along as well. So we're done with Oscar. It will just have to continue to work its way out of here as we go through the next couple of days. Now, another pretty interesting thing is, remember back with Nadine, worked its way over the Yucatan Peninsula, over portions of Central America, and then it lost its center of circulation, so it became a remnant low. Remember, we were talking about the remnants of once Tropical Storm Nadine. Well, then those worked their way out into the Pacific. And all the computer models were really picking up on this very well, that this was going to reorganize itself. And that's exactly what it did yesterday. Since it lost that center of circulation, it loses its name, and then when it reorganizes in the Pacific, it takes on a new name. So this is now Tropical Storm Kristy. Winds are at 60 miles an hour, moving towards the west at 16 miles an hour. But this will continue to move out over open water, and this is expected to eventually become Hurricane Kristy, a major hurricane, as it continues to work its way out over open water. So no threat to any land, just one of those interesting little tidbits, because this started out as Nadine, but since it dissipated and some of that energy worked its way into the Pacific, it then loses that name and gets a new name as it works its way and reorganizes into the Pacific. So we'll watch all this and we'll keep you updated right here on myfoxhurricane.com.